Greetings, cave dwellers! As we all know, topside dwellers are dwindling in population due to the zombie apocalypse, yet those of us who live below can keep safe and cozy while it's crazy up above. But there have been many challenges. The new zombies appear to home in and dig down far easier than in the past, so we need new strategies to adapt. Our design this time from Vedui Builders Incorporated is a safe, trapped, ramp, underground, entryway, base, tongue twister name. But in short, it kills them dead as they try to get underground to snuggle up with you at night. It is easy to make, yet is surprisingly effective. Just remember to keep the doors open, wouldn't want the zombies to feel uninvited and go digging again, right? While this is somewhat of a full base, it's more of a concept for how you can make a safe entryway. It does of course have limitations, but all bases have that, and that's why we only accept cash. No credit cards, no warranty. If you get eaten by a zombie, make sure you pay us first. So we're going to do a walkthrough, what it is really, how it's built and how it looks. I'll show the top side, the bottom side, the ramp side, the trap side, the insides, and well, you get the point. It has traps and defenses naturally, and those are going to be covered as well. In the usual style, we're going to run it through just normal zombies to simulate them dropping in unannounced. Before we turn on the High Blood Moon Horde, followed by a Max Game Stage Horde, and then a Max Game Stage at 64 concurrent zombies. And we're going to see if this holds up to a stadium of zombies coming for a visit. Maybe you're famous and attract that kind of attention, who knows? You break it, you buy it. Now go subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notified of these base builds coming on the market. So from the outside, it looks really unassuming. It's literally just a hole in the ground. And you could put defenses around it if you wanted to. But remember, the harder the zombies to walk through the entrance, the more likely they are to dig. So make sure you don't block it. You can put defenses, but don't block it. If you adopt this kind of hole in the ground, you could for instance put a motion sensor and tie it to a speaker, and it would alert you when their zombies are spotted. That would be really helpful. You could also have some turrets at the top, wrecking the odd zombie before they can make it in. However, it might just waste ammo and make a lot of noise. So turrets might be better and more useful if you put them inside to handle any breaches. Color is important. Bright leads the way in. Zombies are dumb after all. So let me go down and into it. It is about 12 or so down. If you make it too deep and far, the AI pathing might fail and they start digging. Exact limits I don't know, but if you run into any, do let me know in the comments. So I made a ramp down and it doesn't really have any special features. You could expand it to have, say, electric fences, which would be relatively low maintenance, and you could chain a few of them together, and that will probably kill the normal tier 1 zombies before they make it into the corridor at the bottom. I'll leave that for you to upgrade. If you can afford to purchase this property, surely you can afford the upgrades as well. As we reach the bottom, the base can be seen lingering at the other end of this pretty short corridor. So near and yet so far. So it's made 3 wide with lanes on the sides and a raised platform in the middle. Looks a bit weird? Maybe. The reason we keep it 3 wide is to not make it so cramped. But since zombies have a tendency to avoid traps, they would then go in the middle and avoid the blade traps before I put in this raised platform. So I put in the platform, just a raised block in the middle, and it keeps them from pathing in the middle because they are preferring to go here. Why do they do that? Well, they want to be on the same level as you, which is one of the funny things of the AI now. They try to be on the same level as you. So if you are down on this level, they will be down on this level, even if it's safer to walk here. If you jump up on this platform, they will definitely jump up on it as well. Now, why do I have a gap? Well, I thought, why don't I just make a ramp? I can drive my motorcycle down, and I can jump this ramp, and I can continue. That will work really well, right? No. The vehicle physics leave a lot to be desired. The vehicle goes down and then it gets stuck here because it can't jump. It doesn't have the momentum. So a good idea, good concept, doesn't work at all. But anyway, so I just left it for now. You could remove this. Or if you find a better way to jump your mini bike in here, I would definitely like to know. Maybe if you keep like the ramp up here so that instead of going sort of all the way down, the middle path sort of jumps straight here, but then you have to lift the ceiling here a little bit. But, you know, we'll see. Another thing to remember, if you're going to be exploring or building or repairing, turn off the traps. Don't get beheaded. Don't lose your head, please, especially before you're paid up. So we have a battery of 4 blade traps on each side. You could do more, you could do less. They do break down after a while due to the reflected damage when they chop the zombies. So having more than one is definitely useful. If you have 10, it might be overkill. It just increases the distance that the zombies have to run. And that's something that I ran across in a previous test, that if I was way down there, maybe, 30 plus blocks, they would not want to go all the way around to go in here. They would just start digging down. So don't make it too far, because then you have problems with the diggers as well. If you look closely, you'll also see the barbed wire. And this is the cheap way to slow down zombies. Zombies walking past will be slowed, just like I am now, but the barbed wire will also take a little bit of damage, so they will be degrading over time. But because the use is to slow them down, that's okay. If they break, well, you replace them and you can repair them possibly during the Horde as well. It doesn't really matter. They're pretty cheap to make anyway. So there's a few of them, I think it's like 10 or 11. So even if a few break, it doesn't really matter. The reason we have them is because we want to slow down the zombies as much as possible to ensure that the blade traps have maximum time to deal their damage. So slowing them down is good. Once or when the barbed wire is broken, the zombies will be able to run through a little bit easier, which doesn't really make that much of a difference. If they have too many of them, it might be. But as long as you have the blade traps here functioning, they will just be chopping them up anyway. Slow down zombies are also easier to headshot, so that's always a big pro. So let's make sure we move down here to the end. And what happens is that zombies will see this as a non-valid path because, well, it's one up. So they won't be going here generally. So this is the end. And this is where we have the small little base, where we have the generator, we have the workbench, furnace, some chests. Of course, we need to have a concrete mixer. Every base needs that. We have a head. Make sure you sleep with your head on this side and don't bash your head. Of course, this might be a little bit hot if you're still cooking, so turn off the campfire head. Make sure you keep the generator fueled up because you don't want zombies to come in and then you're out of resources, out of fuel. I have a hatch door here. Not that I'm using it. Let me open it up and destroy the illusion here that this is a base. Nothing here. Yeah. So why do I have this one? Well, it's if you want to make a larger base, you probably want to have a hatch here in order to fall back if they really do breach here. However, don't close this one if you're down in the base somewhere else. I mean, if you're in the base like behind this hatch and you close it, the zombies will not have a valid path to you, and they'll start digging down instead if they hear you or sense you. But if the hatch door is open and you're in here, they will. So you can use them sort of as a last-ditch attempt. If they're really in here and you need a moment to pull back and heal and reload, you could close it, but don't keep it closed too long because they will start digging down from the top if that happens. It's a little bit of a peculiar way of how the zombie AI works. Now, of course, you can switch things on and off. And let's see, we have the light here. Right, that's the light. We have the blade traps on this side. And we have the blade traps on this side. Now, if you want to make this fancy, you could probably should be putting all this on a motion sensor such that if it sees a zombie, the traps will start. And if it doesn't see the zombies, well, you're conserving the fuel, because you probably don't want to keep it running the whole time because it will suck a fair bit of power. Something else to keep in mind is that blade traps will degrade as they are being used. And let me simulate that by hitting it a little bit, and make sure you have a lot of resources handy, because if you're having a horde and they start breaking down, they will stop spinning, and then you probably want to repair them. However, that takes a fair bit of resources. Mostly it's mechanical parts and the electrical parts and steel, and it can be a fair bit of as well. I personally think that the repairs are way too expensive because each part requires duct tape, which requires glue, which requires bones, and we just don't get enough bones. Steel is probably easier to make because once you get enough iron, you can do steel as well, but getting duct tape in large quantities is still a bit of a problem. So do make sure you have enough resources to repair, because you don't want to get stuck in the middle of a horde and then most of the blade traps have stopped spinning and then you have nothing to repair them with. And as I mentioned previously, if you jump up here and you walk up in order to repair, the zombies will path up and do the same thing. So you want to go in here, you want to do the repair, and you want to get down here as well and then kill any that are still up on the platform, because they will come down and try to kill you as well. This is where it would be nice to have like a shotgun turret or two that would basically maybe be up here in the corner, aiming down towards this spot. So if any zombies make it this far, they will get wasted from the shotgun turrets. Also, having having the barbed wire means that they will be slowed down, and it's a lot easier to whack them from here using a nice gun. AK-47 is pretty good. Using a sniper is useful as well, but it doesn't have the ammo capacity, or rather magazine capacity, to have a prolonged firefight. Having AK-47 is a lot easier just to keep on firing. But wouldn't it be cool to have, like, let's say you have a static gun emplacement, having a heavy machine gun and just sitting here and just mowing them down? I would have loved to do that. Unfortunately, we don't have that in the game, so we have to make do with the AK-47. So I'm going to go and spawn some feral zombies at the top and go in and draw them in. So this is how it looks here. And let me do this. I do some ferals because they run a little bit faster. Look at me. Let's get in some... these ones here and go down here again. Right. Let's do this one. See if we can get them. Yep, here they come. And these are all feral ones. You'll see they walk here and they decide, yep, this is the better place. And they get, well, decapitated, most of them. But you see, right, even with the barbed wire, they make it through the blade trap slowly, and this one is on the third one. This one is also on the third one before he died. So you can imagine if you have a big horde, some of them are going to come down, and as the barbed wire breaks down, they will come further and further. So you want to make sure you actively defend. But you see, this one was no issue at all. Alright, let's try some feral ones, or rather radiated ones. Radiated, let's not do cops. Those are a little bit difficult. Let's do, yeah, come on, this way, this way. You see, because they have more health points, they take longer to kill, which means that the damage... oh, let me get out of this one. The damage to the blades is a lot higher. So let me see. You see, this one is getting fairly damaged, and this one, of course, is taking more damage. And this one just a little bit. So as the horde progresses, we can expect to see these ones break down. But why not just start a horde here, and let me do... set time 28, 21:59, and we should see the horde starting here. Yeah. Oh, let's make sure we get some first aid in case they are needed. And let's go into here. We'll see. Those are wandering. Okay, so now these are coming here. So if I was down another 20 blocks maybe here, they would probably decide that going all the way here is a problem, and digging down here is a lot simpler. So take that into account. You'll see he's going to be coming here and coming down here. Good place to just shoot. So the cops you want to be careful about, because if they explode, they're going to take down a lot of your traps. And this is a pretty high game stage. I think it's like 490. So it is pretty high. It's still just 8 concurrent. So you can imagine this is a reasonably large horde that is coming in from a normal gameplay, because most people don't have like 64 zombies. I think the cops are probably the worst ones, because they vomit and they can explode. Soldiers have a fair bit of health points. And you see if we let's see if we can get him before he explodes. Yep, we do. Now you probably want to make sure you're repairing. Go up here and... okay, so... oh, it's interesting. She decided she doesn't even want to jump up here. Well, it's even better, actually. Any of these ones need to be repaired? Nope. Oh, yeah, see, now she decided that this is a good place to run. But the next one's coming. I'm down here on the ground again. Nice fodder. So you see they slow down. And getting headshot is a lot simpler. The spiders, because they jump, can end up in weird places like you saw there. Imagine here, you're just standing here, just getting your experience. Wasting bullets, of course, but you could be using a shotgun, or you could be using even your crossbow would be pretty good. Exploding bolts, probably not, because you'll be damaging things here. And if let's say I just go like, no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to stand here and wait for them to arrive. And I'm going to bash them. Bam. Could do that and bash him. So you can do this as a melee as well. You'll get more people coming up here. But nothing stops you from standing here and just whacking them on the head. And of course, you want to make sure you kill them. Yeah, okay. So these ones, they probably want to destroy this one, which is fine, because then they Okay, they'll destroy this one, and oh, you were sneaky. He pretended he was dead. And this one, okay. Oh, this one isn't dead. What's wrong? Okay, now he definitely is. Okay, so that one is dead. So you could use this as a melee build as well, and as that one failed, the next one will be stay down, don't explode. Okay. The next one will take the damage, and if you upgrade them to steel, it'll be even better. See, this works pretty well. If they come in, you can always just pull back and say, nope, no more. No more. And they'll go back to running on the sides again. You'll see this one will be on the side. And again, next one will go on the side. So this one is really simple. And of course, once everything is over, you just repair, you turn off the power, and you're good. The plate will stop spinning, and you can go loot. And that's another thing that's pretty good. If you do get, and I'll see, we probably won't get that here. If you do get some loot bags, you can just run up and you do your looting, and then you run back to safety. And more will be coming in. So pretty easy, right? This is just a standard horde, so this works really well. Now let's bump that up to max game stage, and we're going to see a lot more rated ones, and we'll see how it holds up. Alright, we are about to start another Blood Moon Horde, and the game stage is about 17,000. Still just the 8 active ones, and we'll see how that goes. Let's see, they'll be coming over here. And alright, so now they decided they come over above me, and they decide they're going to go down here. So this is a high game stage, yeah, and as expected, there's a lot of these rated ones. So you probably have to be a bit more active. The traps probably will take care of most of them, but you definitely want to make sure you take out any cops. I wonder if they're going to bump each other up on this platform. Maybe, maybe not. See, they're just chopping away. It should be reasonably okay until they start depleting. And we'll see how fast that happens. Of course, if you're just standing here, you can get some nice experience and just start leveling up your character as well. See, this is a nice spot. Okay, now we have the cop that we want to make sure we take out, and the odd one that doesn't want to die. And the spiders are a little bit weird. Okay, see, this is the nice thing. You come here and you get your loot and you pull back. Just make sure you don't get hit by your own blade traps. That would be unfortunate. And you're coming on the spider, see if he's going to jump in. Yep. Because they jump up and they end up on the raised platform here, they'll probably continue, and so you have to kill them. See, you can go up here and you take care of him. And he's kind of doing his spitting. So you want to make sure you take care of him. So this is not too bad, actually. And I'll show how the zombies are pathing. Okay, let me take care of all these ones and then see the respawn. You see they're going to respawn here and they're going to run all the way over here. Let's do that with the cop as well. And the respawn is... yeah, they're respawning over there, which is actually further, and then they come nearby and then run down here. So they're all pathing through this corridor. And there's a bit of a caveat with that I'm going to talk about a bit later once I've done the 64 concurrent ones, because there are some really worrying things that I ran across. But hang on for that one. I want to finish these tests before I delve into that. I'm not going to say complaint, but it's something that is fairly worrying. And now they decided they rather be breaking. So this is fine. I mean, this is no big issue. Let's stop the AI here for a moment, and we'll see how much damage they've taken. So this one has taken a few hundred, not too bad. This one has taken a lot more. This one seems to be taking more because they run in the middle here. I probably should have more blocks here, because this one seems to be one that takes the most damage. This one, not so much. This one, some. But even if this one breaks down, you know, there's another 2 here to handle it, and of course you can repair it. So let me restart with 64 concurrent ones, and we'll be back again to see that total mayhem. Okay, we are now hitting another Blood Moon Horde, and the game stage is still the 16,800 something, but there are 64 concurrent zombies, and we should see a lot of them spawn here, running up, and we'll see a total cluster group over there. See, they're coming here, and they're walking, yep, the usual one. Well, that is good to know. I was having problems with that previously. Alright, so high game stage, let's see, game stage. Yeah, almost 17,000, and now there are going to be a lot of them. The question is how well this holds up. I want to make sure I take care of any cops. The normal ones I'm less concerned about. They will wear down the LC. Fortunately, the cop is a little bit bigger, so you can target him a little bit easier as well. Let's see if I stand over here. Will they come over to this side? Yeah, they will. So you can still... Wow, that's... I don't want that cop to explode. No, he's fine. So he got bumped up. And this one, of course, is going to be there. And the cops we want to take care. Let's make sure we are pulling them over on this side. The traps are still working quite well. So we can take this cop as well. An extended magazine is really good here, because having 45 bullets is definitely preferred. And there he shot his friends. Nice. Oh, and that one, because they're crawling underneath. Alright, go down. Don't blow up, please. So this is a little bit tougher. And when you're having this many, you probably want to have some other ways of handling with all these excess ones. Okay, don't... Yeah. Go down, please. And the cop we want to take down. This is still fairly doable, actually. I'm surprised that it's holding up as well as it does. Obviously, I'm using a fair bit of ammo here, and the durability of these ones are naturally being hit fairly well. But once they get down here, I can actually repair even while standing here. And then go back to taking care of this one. I wonder if I could... Oh, you probably want to make sure I take these ones though. If these ones start exploding, you do have a problem, because they will break down the traps. Oh, and now they're coming in here, but again, that's why you have your gun. And reloading. Whoa. Okay, now we're getting a bit of a problem. See, this is why you need some shotgun turrets or something to take care of them once you get too many of them. Okay, and here I would be dead. Okay. Whew. Right, let me use a kit here, and I stopped the AI. And 1 hour in, I would have been totally swarmed and dead. And let's look at these ones here. You saw, I think their cop might have exploded here and taken things out. All these ones are taking so much more damage because of all these radiated ones, which really wear them down. And I think something exploded here. Let me see. Yeah, it must have been an explosion, because these ones wouldn't be damaged otherwise. Oh, there's a bit of loot here. So this is something to really keep in mind. If you have this many, it's going to be really tough to deal with in a build like this. 8, no problem. 16, probably fine as well. But 64, it's way too small, because it's difficult to take care of the cops before they explode. And that basically means, let me... Okay, die, please. Die. We don't want your noise here. Okay, it's you really need to take out the cops, because they will destroy all the blade traps, as you can see. Whew. But it works pretty well until they start blowing up and destroying it, surprisingly well. But yeah, no, 2 lanes is not enough for 64 zombies. 8, 16, yeah, but not 64. So coming back to what I was just alluding to about the zombie pathing, in making this video, I was having some really weird problems. Now, most of the time when I'm playing and I'm testing things out, this is what happens. They would spawn like over here, and they would run over me, and they would decide, all right, this is the best way in, and they run over here, they run down, and they come in here. Now, I was doing before this, as I was testing just feral zombies. When I started a Blood Moon Horde, I had a really very weird situation happen. The zombies would spawn just like they are here. They would then run to above me, and they would dig down. And of course, if they dig down here, the whole base is going to fall really fast because they'll dig through this really, even if it's concrete, they'll dig through it in, just a couple of minutes. And that's not really good at all. So I'm not really sure what happened there. Maybe the AI went totally bonkers. And I restarted the map and I still had the same issue. I restarted the Blood Moon Horde and they kept digging down, and I'm not really sure why. It's almost as if something went wrong in the load of the world and the pathing failed. I wonder if it's because when the Horde is incoming, it calculates the path or something, and maybe that wasn't done properly. It maybe ended prematurely, and instead they decided that, well, I'm here, I'm just going to dig down. I'm not going to go anywhere else because I can't see the path. And that's really worrying. So hopefully this doesn't happen when you're doing the normal gaming, because then all this is going to really fail. Anyways, after that I restarted and I didn't have these issues. So I'm not sure whether that was just something that happened because I was playing around and doing all this testing, because the rest of the time, like now, they're just running the right way, and you can see that they come out over me and then they basically go all the way down here just like they should. So hopefully that's the normal behavior, and hopefully you don't see that weird pathing failure like I saw. But regardless, if everything goes as it should be, you see the regular pathing means that they're going to come in along these two paths, and you can go in, you can out, you can go and do your repairs, you can do your looting, and even bash them melee. Zombies will generally not go there unless you're up there too long, or maybe the spider zombies which jump up. Adding on traps is really easy. Electric fences and blade traps are simple, and I would probably, like I said, add some shotgun turrets at the end for zombies that really make it that far. It will burn through some ammo, but it's better to use the ammo than your blood, as Grandpa always used to say. Overall, if you build underground, you also need a way to defend the entrance. Otherwise, they're just going to dig in anyway, and you don't want them to come in and wreck you from the top. You want them to go through a corridor like this. So this is one way of doing that. If you have a bigger base, you might want to make sure that you have entrance corridors in the multiple directions to cover a larger area. If you're too far from the entrance, they might not want to path through it. Doing so will increase the effectiveness at the cost of doing more building, but it will allow you to have some final inner sanctum defenses with turrets blasting at any intruders that make it that far. But do try it out and let me know how it works in your builds and what effective upgrades that you make to it. What weaknesses did you spot and what's your solution to them? I hope you enjoyed this build, and I will catch you in the comment section. See you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.